Hey.
Hey Lamau, welcome to another exciting game of Blood Bowl as myself and Byron are diving deep into the Cabalvision official league to find ourselves some top quality gameplay. Byron, who have we got on the menu?
Well, we have some French lads over here, the Skaven team with four very spicy looking gutter runners led by Mr. Marseille himself. And going up against them is the Blitzers, who are looking very, very strong and good at punching things, which is going to be their goal this game. They're going to want to break some Skaven backs.
Yeah, very, very nasty. Of course, the Orc team with a full complement of these Black Orc Blitzers, or Black Orc Blockers rather, at the front. Though they're a little bit under-leveled. The same can't be said for the Blitzers, though, to try and find them. There we go. With the guys with the claws up in the air, they've got themselves a lot of Mighty Blow. They've got themselves a lot of Guard, and even some Tackle in there as well. They are absolute murder machines.
Yes, they are, and I'm very excited to see how it unfolds because there's two very different play styles that affect here. You have the Skaven, who very much like rats are going to be looking to kind of scurry around the depths and try and find their way around these orcs, run rings around them, and get themselves as many touchdowns as possible that way. However, the orcs want to do everything in their power to stop that, and they have a massive strength advantage and an armor value advantage. So they're going to be looking to get into some fisticuffs, some big fights, and bonk some Skaven on the head. That's going to be the game plan for both these teams coming in.
We can see that the Skaven team does not have a Rat Ogre, so as you said, that strength advantage is definitely going to lie with the Orcs. You can see the Skaven have put themselves in a position to get kind of surrounded here. I wonder if they're going to be able to break out of the center and move towards the ball, which is kicked into the far right-hand corner.
Also, not to burst your bubble count of it, you're not streaming, so I can't watch. I'm currently casting blind.
You've done a great job.
Exactly. But, one thing we also want to keep in mind is the kind of positioning here. How are the Orcs going to want to try and handle this? Because they could look to kind of cover as many angles as possible, or they could just charge straight at the Skaven. They have two kind of different options, and looking like they're going straight for a charge, which is going to get them straight in range for some big fights. But, that's going to sting already. An injured Orc, Black Orc as well, off the pitch already, so bad news bears.
So that's one of the players we needed to watch coming into this one. The number 4 player. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name there because I'm definitely going to get it wrong. With both Mighty Blow and Claw, proving that there is some bite to this Skaven team as much as we expected the Orcs to dominate the punching game.
Yeah, and what you're seeing now is the gutter runners just walking past everyone around them, trying to get themselves clear, and because of this, that already got 3 versus 3 really near the opponent's touchdown zone against the ball carrier.
Yeah, we can see here there are the 2 players here with tackle where they're both tied up well away from those gutter runners that tackle would be extremely useful against. The Orcs have committed hard down the left-hand side, and now the gutter runners are blocking progress along that avenue.
Yeah, they really are, and the question is now, how much damage can the Orcs get done? Because 3-4 players with the Skaven team have now ditched to go over to the other side of the pitch, which means that the other Skaven are free real estate for the Blitzers to really just blitz their way through.
So the big question for Dallas here is, where is that one blitzer turn going to go to open up space for the ball carrier? It looks like there's some action going over on the left-hand side. Seems like Dallas still wants to try and open up the left-hand flank, certainly having no trouble putting down these line rats for the time being.
Yeah, for the time being, it's looking like pretty easy work for him as these Orcs, but just have to worry about these Skaven that he has marked a few of in the backline, but there's always a chance they can just nab that ball off the ball carrier and run it straight into the goal. Obviously, the movement of those gutter runners is absolutely massive, so they have to be very, very careful at letting those things get their little grubby hands on the ball.
Speaking of grubby hands, it looks like someone didn't wash their mitts today, as a failed catch attempt there from the Orcs trying to move the ball towards the center of the pitch. Sriha, the number 4 blitzer for the Orc squad, fending the catch there. Does drop the ball into a pretty well protected area as the failed dodge from the Gutter Runner. That's going to smart and leaves the Orcs back in control.
It really does, and the Orcs are in a great position right now because they have control of the center of the pitch, and you know what's in the center of the pitch right now? That's right, it's the ball. So now there isn't any worries about Skaven coming and nicking that ball anymore. You have control of the entire area, just pick it up or walk it over, and the Skaven, if they try and attack that big cage you can build up, they'll just be sent bouncing, flying off. There's no chance of them being able to contest this if there is a good enough setup. However, as for their reroll being forced to be used because luck is still a factor here, and if you keep going for the blocks, eventually they will end up turning on you. However, this one is looking really bad for Snabbit. The Gutter Runner gets knocked down, but not out.
Now, Snabbit, a ball-sacking Gutter Runner intended to try and knock down anyone that they blitz. I like this from the Orcs trying to bring one of their tackle players over to where the enemies are who have the dodge that the tackle negates. You mentioned that cage building up for the Orcs in the center. Really not what the Skaven wants to have happening now. Losing out on that dodge from the Gutter Runner, I think really threw the plans of Marseille, the Skaven coach, into complete disarray.
Yeah, it really has. And the question is now is how can you grab that ball as a Skaven team? It's tough. You've got a lot of players who are kind of out of position right now. But do you want to just have them score? Because I think that might be a valid option, is to just try and let them score here. If you try and contest this ball too hard, you're going to end up in a massive fist fight versus Orcs. And I know who wins that out of Orcs and Skaven. It's Orcs. So the question is, do they want to keep on fighting, keep on pushing to try and grab this ball? Or do they want to just try and let this touchdown happen with as minimal violence as possible? But right
That's
now,
never the way. Oh, wow.
And that's the problem.
That's... Okay, so the Apothecary has been burnt from the side of Marseille to save their number one player in many respects, who's going to get sent off as only badly hurt. I like that, Marseille was trying to find a way to punch back into the game, but now their best punching player has been removed. I think the Orcs could easily stall out for the rest of the half.
Yeah, they really could. I don't see how the Skaven are going to find a way back into this half. It's going to be very, very tough. The question is whether or not they want to risk it, really. The Skaven could choose to try and just get as many of their players out of dodge as possible and kind of just save their souls and look for next round, or whether or not they want to risk it now, try and secure the ball and see if they can still manage to force a touchdown, but at a massive risk of injury as another knockout comes through.
Yeah, it's starting to go very much in the Orcs' direction. There still is a little bit of hope, but as you can see, Dallas in no hurry to end this torment of the Skaven team. We've committed in pretty hard towards the center. Orcs, of course, with all that guard on their squad, very much favored when it comes to a fight. The ball carrier is still in the center, not totally protected, as the other Storm Vermin, who does have Claw, so able to deal with the Orcs' armor, remains in play. But what's this? We are seeing number 9, the thrower, is actually going wide out with no protection at all.
Yeah, and I mean, I like this now. They've recognized the fact that there's not really a way to stop that thrower too much, bar a lucky blitz. And so they're trying to just get their Skaven out of danger, which, especially these Gutter Runners who are very, very important to the team, I quite like. Is never mind, I'm forced to eat my words as 2 of the Gutter Runners go wide and then one lands in the middle.
I'm kind of surprised that we didn't see an attempt to go after the ball carrier there, but I think maybe from the side of Marseille, they're trying to just put the pressure down the Orcs to score a little bit earlier. We haven't had a chance yet to talk about the player right up at the top there, the number 6 Gutter Runner, Leeutch, with 10 movement, a single turn touchdown from the Skaven squad is very much a possibility. Yeah,
and the Orcs are going to need to really cover their flanks and find a way to take control of the ball, because that's kind of where they're at. If they do not have control of the ball or the ball carrier, the Orcs are kind of lost here. However, if they do, then all of a sudden they're in a massive advantage. So it's all about that kind of control. Right now, the Orcs are looking in very good favour. They've injured a few gutter runners now. They've got themselves very much control of the pitch. They've got a secure touchdown now. It's just going to be about dealing as much damage as possible to these Skaven, as a foul will kill Cabalvision, the storm vermin here. So that's very, very rough. However, it looks like a player. Oh, never mind. There's the cheeky bribe, and there's no worries here. Looks like the blitz coming through, looking to score maybe the touchdown here. Or just keep a hold of the ball. I think they're going to keep a hold of the ball and just stall out the rest of this half.
We have got the small possibility. There we go, dodging away. Now going to be looking for the Dauntless, and will get a knock. No, won't get a knockdown. That thrower has got dodge and sure hands as well. So normally, this gutter runner number 3 Snabbit with their strip ball will be able to knock the ball away. However, not so much the case, as another dodge doesn't go Marseille's way. The Skaven in real trouble of being wiped out entirely coming into the second half.
Yeah, and it's a turnover now. The blitzers just going to keep on charging on. The question is, I think they're just going to let that gutter runner at the top just sit there as they just push further down this other side of the pitch. And there are so many just very, very weak Skaven who are looking very vulnerable. And just look at this. That gutter runner is diddly dunzo, to put it lightly.
You can see how comfortable Dallas is right now. Not even going to try and prioritize getting the ball in at all. Trying to make sure that once the Skaven come around, that one-turn touchdown will be as difficult for them as possible. There is, of course, a minimum of 1 turn allowed once the half changes, when Dallas fairly inevitably ends up scoring. But yeah, without the rest of the team, the rest of the game, it's going to look pretty rough. Let's take in all those casualties. 1 dead. That's a dead Storm Vermin. And we can just see the gutter runner. I think he's actually maybe intentionally looking to get pushed off the pitch here in exchange. As we go in, there's the double skulls. There's both down. That's actually going to put the ball carrier down.
That's good. And also no turnover. So now the question is, can they get a hold of that ball? The runner runs over, is able to secure it. Would look to just throw it away. And it's still a possible touchdown, I think, but they've made it much more difficult for the Orcs. And with their kind of low movement, it's going to make it a little bit harder. So, well played. The issue is they've put more gutter runners at risk now, and no defender down, so lucky in terms of that. They're looking to grab the ball now.
Yeah, very nicely done. So the manual throw, rather than throwing to one of their teammates from the Skaven, very smart play to deny Dallas that first score. This will, of course, mean that the Skaven won't have their chance to score back for the 1-turn touchdown, but it's always a pretty big risk. This seems like, unless we get some very good dice rolls, to be it for Dallas in this half. But even without the goal being scored, without the touchdown being scored, there's still so few Skaven left in the mix. As the pickup doesn't go great, the touch, it's just not going to get close to a touchdown.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for the Orcs here. They had so much control of this half, but through some very nice rolling and some kind of cunning, I'd say, with such a disadvantage, Marseille is able to hold on and deny the touchdown for the Orcs. And that's massive news, because in the next round, he can get a lot of his knocked out players to back up if he's lucky, and could look to potentially score another touchdown. As if this actually lands.
It does! Touchdown for the Skavens. We thought it wasn't possible, but it looks like Marseille knew better than us. Finding the opportunity, grabbing that ball, throwing it halfway down the pitch, and making it 1-0 on the Orc drive, when they should be scoring. The Skaven now ahead at halftime.
And this is the power of Skaven. They can be down. They can be destroyed. But if you let them have any sort of control over the ball, they will just take it to your touchdown zone, and there is nothing you can do about it. Very, very well played. Very opportunistic play, I'd say, from Le Marseille, to find those little areas where he could get himself an advantage. And because of that, He is now in the lead in this game. I'd argue he even has an advantage now that the ball, I believe, is coming to him. The difference is that he still does not have the numbers advantage. And so if he does end up in a very rough fight with these Orcs, it will not end well for him.
So let's take a look again at the bench. So 2 players out of action. That's one of the Bullseye Gutter Runner and one of the Killer Storm Vermin. 2 KOs and Line Rats as well. Nothing too major, so let's count up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The Skaven are able to field a full team for now, but if they take any further casualties, they are going to have to start dropping numbers on the pitch.
Oh. And the French lads can have an extra move, which I'm sure they'll be happy about. As, able to move closer and closer to that ball. And I tell you what, these gutter runners, they are going to be so deadly. It would not surprise me if there was some sort of voodoo magic where they could just get a touchdown right now.
I think that's totally possible. It's a bit unfortunate. Well, no, let me rephrase. It's some smart kicking from Dallas there to put the ball very close to the front line where it's going to be in more danger, and also next to the gutter runner who doesn't want to be carrying the ball because they've got wrestle, and there's a good chance they put themselves down if put under pressure. So if we see the scramble coming in, we have still got the number 1 Storm Vermin, the absolute orc murdering number 1 player who's still alive because of that apothecary. I think our movement 10 gutter runner will be coming up and grabbing the ball straight away.
Yeah, and with that 10 movement, it's just so much distance they can travel, and the question is, how are they going to utilize that? Right now, keeping them safe with the ball, obviously, because about how much control of the ball is important, is Gabney is also injured. I'm surprised at how many fights are actually going the Skaven's way in this match. They're really holding their own here, and it's impressive as the 1 dice roll goes their way again.
That's a plus strength Black Orc blocker now laid out on the pitch. Going to be marked, I assume, for the rest of the match if Marseille has anything to say about it, by just a Line Rat. Yeah, very, very good start for the Skaven here. They've got to now weather, though, the Orcs coming back in and trying to do the same to them. They're only 1 blitz. The Skaven have done a good job of keeping the Orcs at arm's length for now.
Yeah, and I'm very interested to see how this half-west and how the Orcs want to respond, because the Skaven team right here, playing very safe, playing very secure, and realizing that they don't even need to necessarily score a touchdown here. They want the Orcs to go on the offensive, because if you move all your Orcs forward, you then leave the back of your team exposed, and it means the Skaven can then do their typical sneaky shenanigans, run around the back, get themselves a touchdown. So the question is, how much does Dallas want to even, I guess, overstep here to try and get himself control of the ball? And right now we are seeing some battles going on, but really not an incredible amount. Just a kind of calm game, and if your name is the Marseille, that's exactly what you want.
I think you're right to point out that the Orcs have got themselves a decent reserve of players back here to make sure they can counteract what's coming out from the Skaven, as we're going to see a pseudo cage on the side of the pitch. So a very clear objective for the Orc team as the gutter runners are moving up, providing a good loose screen for that ball carrier, which is going to make it very hard to access. The Orcs, of course, they've got a chance to get some punches in before they focus on the major objective.
Yeah, they really do. And right now you're seeing the power of this Orc squad knocking down Skaven left, right, and center. They're stunned on the ground here, and now that cage needs to be stopped. Do not underestimate the movement ability of these gutter runners. If you do not shut them down now, that touchdown is theirs.
So the Orcs have got the choice of trying to get in front of where the Skaven are right now, because if all just putting enough threat in, as we do see the injury coming in, those Line Rats gonna get a miss next game, so starting to drop in a serious way. The blitz coming into the corner of the lineup. This won't, I think, allow easy access. Another injury comes in. Rats dropping everywhere.
Yeah, they are dropping. But the 2 gutter runners here still safe for the time being. And the question is, can the Orcs fully cover that run to the touchdown? There's still that final line there that has just been covered by the tackle zone of Trolop. It's going to be tough, but these are Skaven. They're crafty. They're sneaky. They'll have a plan somewhere.
So yeah, needs to open some space up. And as we see, the negation of the tackle zone there of the Black Orc blocker. Here we go. This is crucial. Dauntless comes in, does work, gets a knockdown on to the Blitzer. This is going to open some space. It looks like we'll even see the Gutter Runner run through it first.
Ooh.
I don't think this Skaven can score this turn, but I could be wrong. That is a very high movement Gutter Runner.
Don't forget, there's... Oh, they've just ran complete rings around the Orcs there, but they went for it! Oh, and that is a crucial mistake there. The knockout on Leeutch there. 10 movement ability Gutter Runner there. Ace of the team there. And it's a turnover. It could have been a big mistake. What can the Orcs say about it? And right now there's one lone Gutter Runner. And there's a lot of Orcs who are hungry for some blood. This is a big uh-oh.
I mean, it was a pretty safe shout for Marseille there to have that reroll on the going for it. But yeah, now what looked like an almost certain score is very much not the case. The Skaven managed to score when the Orcs were supposed to, and now it looks like the Orcs might well be able to return the favour. There are just not enough rats in the Orc backfield, I think, to get that ball back again.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. And you have to notice the Orcs already have control of all of the center stage already. There's not many, Skaven who are actually usable because all of them are pretty marked right now. So the question is what can Marseille really get done here? He's going to have to go for some risky dodges, I imagine. That might be his only option, but this is a four-man strong Orc squad standing here next to this ball. I don't see it being massively possible for them to get through, but we'll see what can be achieved as a knockdown comes through.
Yeah, that's a nice hit there as the dodge goes round. So no tackle from the thrower there as the mark on is there. Wait a second, what's going on? There's a dodge going on the other side, and that's a burned reroll. The Skaven going for it and failing once more.
Unfortunate, and the next turnover will come through. Now, we have to keep in mind there's only 4 turns left for the Orcs to score. Now, they should be able to. They have the control. But if they spend too much time, hanging about the other side of the pitch, it's going to be looking a little bit difficult for them to actually get the score back. And right now, I think the best scenario they can get out of this match, realistically, is just a draw. They are able to knock out Cenabit, though, which is great news for them. Another Gutter Runner off the pitch. And now I'm hoping they grab a hold of this ball and they start waltzing it down to the enemy touchdown zone.
This is just a basic line Orc who's gotten hold of the ball there, but importantly, as you mentioned, that very, very pesky Gutter Runner taken out of commission. The Skaven team is barely on the pitch anymore. I am noticing the number 1 player is still alive. The player most able to kill Orcs, while downed at the moment and marked by a Black Orc blocker. The Skaven aren't totally done at giving up the draw.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what plans the Marseille can bring in, because he's already shown us in these scenarios where it looks impossible, he's able to find that path outwards. And just as we say that, the 1 dice block, defender down, injury coming through on the Black Orc blocker, and there we go. Just I talked about it. I don't know what it is, but he's able to find those little opportunities, and that means so much now. Because all of a sudden, the Orcs don't have as much control as they did over the center stage. There are now 3 Skaven who are looking, pretty free to move.
Yeah, I think this is super important for the Skaven here. They've managed to re-establish some measure of control. We can see that the Line Orc Tokruk. I know, I tell lie, it's not Line Orc, it's a thrower after all. What are they talking about? Of course, I was expecting them to have sure hands, but instead, I believe they've got block. So they're still pretty hard to put down, but you're right, the Skaven's got more control over their own half of the pitch than I was expecting. And it looks to be that the Orcs are going to look to cage up in these 4 remaining turns.
Yeah, it's a very smart move by the Orcs there to activate the cage, because how do Skaven have the power to get through a cage? They've shown that they can go for those opportunistic one dice blocks. It's going to be a lot tougher when there's 4 scary orcs around that ball carrier. And another knockout. The Skaven are getting the numbers advantage back a little bit, which is very good to see. And also, they're already prepping to try and take the cage on from a different angle, as they just thrown a Skaven into the cage. I appreciate that.
Yeah, very, very smart play, and also putting another one in front as well. I mean, this is amazing play from the Skaven so far. The Orcs, I think, just like before, it looked like the Orcs basically had it, but now we've got a small half screen in front of the Orc cage, which will force them over to the right-hand side, while also having the ball carrier marked, which means at least one of their players is going to have to stay behind.
Yeah, they are. They've already used the blitz, so second that the ball carrier is going to have to be the one to dispose of that Skaven if they don't get the dodge going. And now, the Orcs scrambling to get themselves that control of the center stage is...
Wow. I mean, that says it all, really, that the Orcs just had to dodge away with the ball carrier with no rerolls and no dodge on that player. That could have been disastrous and put the ball right back into Skaven hands. But fortunately, able to move up, establish a front line. Skaven do burn their reroll very early, and they're now entirely out of them. They're going to need to make the best of every single block from here on out.
They really are.
Oh!
As soon as you say that, the luck runs thin for Mr. Marseille. And turn 15 of 16, the Orcs in the next 2 turns need to make it happen. However, it is looking considerably possible as the Leeutch is knocked out. The cage is strong. They are in range of the touchdown zone. There's only 1 or 2 Skaven that can even say anything about that cage now in terms of range, and it's looking like it's going to be a draw, which still, I mean, if you look at the situations that Marseille ended up in this match, it is miraculous that he's able to walk away with this game with a draw. But as I say, it's the opportunistic play of these Skaven that have just helped him out so much.
Yeah,
but
without any gutter runners left for the Skaven side of things, no more shenanigans left in the tank. I mean, I absolutely love the number 1 Storm Vermin here. That claw and mighty blow just made mockery of the Orc armor so far. Normally almost invulnerable to hurt. And they still managed to get a player onto the ball carrier. It wasn't a blitz ultimately. And another 1 dice block. It's another attacker down. So it's down to this final turn. Will the Orcs be able to clear space for their ball carrier? They've got a reroll. It seems exceedingly unlikely this won't be a draw.
Yeah, it really does. As there's the defender down. There's the knockout. There's no one to stop this touchdown now unless Dallas gets a little bit cocky, but I don't think he is. He has this respect now for the Marseillais. Looks like he's going for it now. And there we go. The touchdown comes through. 1-1 in the end of this match. Tokruk with the touchdown there, and well fought by both teams here. Orcs having control for the majority of this game, but the crafty Skaven of the Marseille really proving themselves to be, as I say, very crafty, and certainly had some creative solutions for some problems there.
So yeah, we got to see some very high level play, and of course, as is only right, that number 6 gutter runner Leeutch with 10 movement gets the MVP for that round. You can see the SPP, the XP numbers for these players getting pretty ridiculous. But that will be it for us. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little look into the Cabalvision official league, what happens at the very high levels of play. I've been Counterfeit, joined by ByronVilla, and we'll catch you guys next time for even more Blood Bowl.